Back on Sportsbook Betting Insight today, time for a big game breakdown. Check out the live odds screen, sportsbookreview.com. Raiders and the Chiefs. Chiefs at home, 3, minus 125, 46 the total. Raiders are the 1 seed right now in the AFC, 10-2. Chiefs on a roll, 9-3. Road team has done well in this series, ATS, for a long, long time. 21-6 ATS the last 27. Oakland's 8-2 ATS the last 10 in Kansas City. The first meeting, Chiefs won 26-10, held the Raiders to 285 yards, although it was a bad spot for the Raiders, Teddy. They couldn't get anything going on offense, though.
Yeah, I remember I cashed a ticket with Kansas City in that game, and it was pretty much a bet. It was a bet-on spot for KC and a bet-against spot for Oakland. So when it comes to weighting those statistics, I don't weight them quite as much, perhaps, as the market is going to do for this ballgame. Obviously, with the Chiefs, there's some 3.5s popping up on Kansas City right now. There is a lot of respect for KC in the markets. And, remember, Oakland was coming off that grueling win over the Chargers. The Chiefs were coming off a bye, Andy Reid's record off a bye. And it was an Oakland team that at the time was a little bit fat and happy. Of course, they've won 6 in a row coming into this game, so maybe they're fat and happy as well. But we're talking about a team and a trend, as you mentioned, 21-6 ATS for the road team. That's not a short-term trend. And Oakland, covering 8 of the last 10 at Arrowhead, that's not a short-term trend either. Hard for me to make a case for Kansas City, even though December in KC, we're talking about kickoff temperatures in the teens.
Yeah.
And a wind chill in single digits.
Yeah. So the Raiders are 6-0 away from home. 6-0 straight up and ATS away from home. But they haven't played the division games. 3 of their last 4 are road games in the division as we start with this one coming up on Thursday. Now, this could work both ways. They didn't have the energy in the first game. Now do they have the poise, with stupid penalties and some issues on defense. They don't play 4 quarters, Teddy. They usually struggle out of the gate, slow first half. You saw what happened against Buffalo. I guess it's a testament to Del Rio that they've been able to go 10-2. But this will come back to bite them if they don't play a full game. And it could bite them Thursday if they don't play a full game and get off to a slow start. You can't keep rallying in the second half of these games.
They've rallied pretty well. But let's be real about the Raiders season and why nobody has Oakland power rated even equal with New England. Raiders won a lot of coin flip games, and that'll happen. You'll have teams that'll go 10-2 instead of going 8-4 or 7-5 because they're winning a lot of tight games. You say, oh, they're poised. Yeah, they have been poised down the stretch. Let's not take it away from them, but there's certainly some randomness, some coin flipping element to the success. You talked about that 6-0 straight up and away ATS, the 5 road games, and then the neutral site game in Mexico that actually counts as a home game for Oakland. But, this is a high-pressure setting, and we haven't seen Oakland have success in these settings at any point in the last decade. Haven't seen David Carr in these settings on a regular basis, or Derek Carr, I should say, in these settings on a regular basis. So might be something to watch on Thursday night to see if all of a sudden the Raiders' poise goes down the tubes a little bit.
Yeah, Chiefs may have played their best game of the season, the first meeting, the 26-10 game we talked about. Total offense, 406 to 286. We're at $130 and a touchdown. The Raiders had 2 turnovers. KC had 0. They're 9-3. We talked about it last week. The 3 wins when they were down 8 points or more in the fourth quarter and won 3 times. Teddy, look at these numbers. How the hell is this team 9-3 when we showed this graphic?
Well, let's see. They've been outgained for the season. They've been out first down. They're getting outgained on a yards per play basis. They're getting out rushed. They're getting out passed. And their opponents have more offensive touchdowns than Kansas City. You look at the last 5 games, they've been out-yarded in every one of those games. They're 4-1 straight up. So how do you get a 9-3 record out of that? Simple. Plus 14 turnovers. And they haven't just been turnovers. They're creating offense with their defense. Scoring on the defense side of the football. Obviously, Eric Berry did it twice last week, plus the special teams touchdown. Some of it's luck, some of it's design. This offense is designed not to turn the ball over. Don't make mistakes. Keeps the team in the game. And that's what they've done. They've hung around, and found ways to steal a good handful of games already this season just because their opponents have screwed up at the wrong time.
And I like how they're using Tyreek Hill, an emerging star, 13 rushes for 87 yards, 50 catches for 481 yards, 15 yards average punt returns, 28 yards average on kickoff returns with a touchdown. He's dangerous. You saw it in the Denver game Sunday night. King, Oakland, Janikowski, don't kick to this guy. You're making a mistake.
Well, that's the thing, is that you're going to look at season-long stats for KC and say, oh, they have no playmakers. They have no playmakers. They got one, and his season-long stats aren't going to say anything. He's coming on of late. Worth noting, last week, Kansas City had 7 plays of 20 or more yards, the explosive offensive plays. That's the most they've had all season, and it's something to watch here if they can put the explosive plays together against the Raiders on Thursday.
Go to SBRodds.com. Browse, compare, and shop live odds available at top online sportsbooks. Go to SBRodds.com. Browse, compare, and shop live odds available at top online sportsbooks.